the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rob Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Armed Forces of the Philippines recognizes top-performing officers, reaffirms commitment to excellence. 2 missing Army soldiers found dead in Butalo River after scout boat mishap. Bulusan volcano recorded 127 earthquakes in 24 hours. PUV drivers to undergo more frequent drug tests after series of deadly accidents.
And institutional achievements in a ceremony held at Camp General Emilio Aguinaldo, Quezon City. AFP Chief of Staff General Romeo Browner Jr. awarded the recertified status of to the Office of the Chief of Staff and the AFP Educational Benefits System Office. The Office of the Chief Chaplain Service also received the Institutionalized Status Award. In his remarks, General Browner highlighted the significance of the recognition as a testament to the AFP's pursuit of professionalism, transparency, and continuous improvement.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And 2 soldiers who went missing during a river patrol in Maguindanao del Sur have been found dead. The bodies of Private First Class Manuel Bermudez, Philippine Army, and Corporal Dennis Abrea, Philippine Army, were recovered from the Butalo River nearly 20 hours after their scout boat capsized during a routine anti-terror mission. Both soldiers were members of the 6th Infantry Division and were part of a 2-boat team navigating a deep section of the river in Dato Salibo. Major General Donald Gumiran confirmed that military rescuers, along with local barangay officials, found the remains separately on Saturday, May 3. He added that the soldiers' remains will be returned to their families, with the AFP assisting in burial arrangements.
DWDD Armed Forces News. Armed Forces Radio.
For other updates, let us hear the details about Western Mindanao Command Chief leads inauguration and blessing ceremony of newly constructed Joint Task Force Central Liaison Facility. Go ahead for the details, Gina.
Of the newly constructed Joint Task Force Central Liaison Facility located at Camp Enrile, Malagutay, Zamboanga City, yesterday, May 5, 2025. After the ceremonial ribbon cutting led by Lieutenant General Nafarete and assisted by 6th Infantry Division and JTF Central Commander Major General Donald Gumiran, a short blessing ceremony followed. The JTF Central Liaison Facility will provide a dedicated space to accommodate JTF Central personnel during official visits and engagements in Zamboanga City. Meanwhile, the construction of the facility was an initiative of Lieutenant General Nafarete himself during his tenure as the commander of the 6th ID. This is Gina reporting for AFP Community News, One AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Gina.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And as part of Balikatan Exercise 2025, reservists from the Naval Reserve Center National Capital Region participated in a vital cybersecurity training held at Camp General Emilio Aguinaldo, Quezon City. The specialized training aimed to enhance the cyber defense capabilities of the Philippine Navy and allied forces by equipping reservists with essential knowledge and practical skills in key cybersecurity areas. The training includes threat analysis and management, risk assessment and mitigation, incident response planning, and cyber hygiene best practices. This cybersecurity component of Balikatan underscores the importance of joint military preparedness and interagency cooperation in addressing modern threats.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And a suspected new People's Army tax collector was killed in a clash with government troops in Palimbang, Sultan Kudarat. The military identified the fatality as Marlindo Padilla Maglangit, who had reportedly been extorting money from farmers in Barangay Bambanen. According to Brigadier General Michael Santos of the 603rd Infantry Brigade, Maglangit and his companion opened fire on soldiers in Sitio Sandawagan, prompting a firefight. Maglangit was killed in an exchange while his companion escaped into the nearby hinterlands. Troops recovered an M16 rifle, medical supplies, and explosives at the scene.
DWDD Armed Forces News. Armed Forces Radio.
On the other line, let us hear more from Shaira about joint law enforcement neutralizes crime group member in Maguindanao del Norte. Shaira?
Yes, good afternoon, Jai. A notorious member of an organized crime group died after the conduct of a joint law enforcement support operation by the authorities in Sitio Dulayap, Barangay Pangao, Barrera, Maguindanao del Norte around 5 in the morning yesterday, May 5, 2025. Marine Battalion Landing Team 2, Commanding Officer Lieutenant Colonel John A. de la Cruz, Philippine Navy Marines, identified the individual as Camlon Manardas Ragundo, 34 years old, resident of the said place. According to Lieutenant Colonel de la Cruz, the purpose of the Criminal Investigation and Detection Group, BARM, with the MBLT-2 is to serve the warrant of arrest issued by the local court against Porok Marandakan Ragundo, alias Rookie, and 7 other associates due to various criminal cases the group is facing when the law enforcement troops were being fired while approaching the house of the target personalities. Meanwhile, in the middle of the encounter, the suspects threw grenades while fleeing and left Camlon Ragundo's body at the scene. Recovered after the clash were 2 M16A1 rifles, magazines, 2 grenades, and ammunition. This is Shai Rivera reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Shaira.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
Philippines and U.S. forces held joint anti-seaborne invasion drills in Cagayan, showcasing coordinated firepower and rapid response capabilities. The exercises aim to strengthen the defense posture and deter potential threats in the Indo-Pacific region. According to the AFP, the drills send a strong message to those who may attempt to disrupt peace and stability in the area. Among the assets deployed were Sabra battle tanks, light armored vehicles, Atmos 155mm self-propelled howitzers, and 105mm artillery.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And for our national news,
DWDD National News.
the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology recorded 127 low-magnitude earthquakes at Bulusan volcano in the last 24 hours. PHIVOLCS said Bulusan volcano remains under alert level 1 following the eruption on April 28. Over the past 24 hours, Bulusan continued to emit sulfur dioxide, releasing 809 tons per day. PHIVOLCS has reiterated that entry into the 4-kilometer permanent danger zone is strictly prohibited.
DWDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
And now let us hear a reporter on the ground about war material surrendered to 1st Mechanized Battalion. Go ahead for the details, Angel.
Yes, Jai, surrendered war material under the 6th Infantry Campilan Division of the Philippine Army continued to increase after the voluntary surrender of 5 high weapons in Barangay Ambolodto, Datuod in Sinsuat, Maguindanao del Norte. According to Lieutenant Colonel Robert Betita, battalion commander of the 1st Mechanized Battalion, his personnel launched the clearing operations in the barangays of Sibutu, Amboloto, Kinibaka, Nekitan, Bonged, Kakar, and Bugawas in the town of Datuod in Sinsuat, Maguindanao del Norte. During the said operation, some residents voluntarily surrendered their weapons in response to a plea for peace, including a carbine 5.56 Bushmaster, a 60mm mortar, 2 rocket-propelled grenade, a 12-gauge shotgun, and a 9mm Uzi submachine gun. Meanwhile, 601st Infantry Unifier Brigade Commander Brigadier General Edgar Catu expressed gratitude to the residents of the said area for its trust and confidence to the government and for their active participation in the fight against loose firearms in the region. This is Angel Cruz Camomot reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Angel.
DWDD National News.
Transportation Secretary Vince Dizon announced that the government will require all public utility vehicle drivers to undergo drug testing every 3 months. The policy takes effect immediately. Dizon explained that there should be no room for compromise. If a driver fails to test once, they'll never drive a public vehicle. The mandate comes after a series of fatal accidents involving drug-positive drivers, including the Solid North bus crash on Labor Day that killed 12 people, 6 of them children.
DWDD National News.
And the Commission on Elections raised the alarm over a massive and coordinated disinformation campaign. The campaign aims to undermine public trust in the electoral process ahead of the midterm elections. COMELEC Chairman George Erwin Garcia said disinformation, not just vote buying, is one of the most serious threats to election integrity. Garcia then assured that as far as the COMELEC is concerned, nothing was compromised on any of their systems regarding any election data.
DWDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
And we have a report coming in from Joanne about Philippines and U.S. Army forces enhance jungle warfare skills under Balikatan Exercise 40-2025. Joanne?
Over 100 personnel from the Philippine and U.S. Army forces successfully completed a demanding jungle operation training course held at the Sagala Field 7 ID and at the Pahingahan complex within Fort Magsaysay Military Reservation. This rigorous course, a key component of Exercise Balikatan 40-2025, focused on equipping participants with essential skills for operating effectively in challenging jungle environments, further enhanced by the complexities of inserting personnel and equipment via HW Helocast. The training emphasized interoperability, resilience, and adaptability in complex terrain. Exercise Balikatan continues to reinforce the strong military partnership between the Philippines and the United States, ensuring both forces are better prepared for various security challenges. This is John Sagaok reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Joanne.
DWDD National News.
And the Department of Information and Communications Technology has ordered all telecommunications companies and internet service providers to suspend major network repairs and maintenance works nationwide from May 5 to 14. This is to guarantee uninterrupted connectivity during the election day. The ICT Secretary Henry Aguada said that they want the Filipino people to feel secure knowing their voices are protected. Aguada also underscored that connectivity plays a vital role in ensuring election transparency, from transmitting precinct-level reports to allowing families to track results in real time.
DWDD National News.
And rising temperatures in the country show no signs of easing. The Philippine Atmospheric Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration is projecting that 32 areas may experience dangerous heat index levels today. Based on Pag-asa's latest forecast, Itchagi Isabela could record the highest heat index at 45 degrees Celsius. 3 other areas may reach a heat index of 44 degrees Celsius, are Tuguegarao City of Cagayan, Cavite City, Cavite, and Daet, Camarines Norte. Pag-asa clarifies o classifies heat indices from 42 degrees Celsius to 51 degrees Celsius as within the danger level. It warned that such conditions increase the risk of heat-related illnesses such as heat cramps and heat exhaustion. Prolonged exposure may also lead to heat stroke.
DWDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
And now let us hear from Leonor. About 508 new Army recruits undergo basic military training. Leonor?
500 new recruits began their 16-week pre-entry basic military training or BMT in an opening ceremony at the Macabulis Grand Stand Camp Adonel Capaz, Tarlac. The said recruits were part of the Candidate Soldier Corps CSC Class 797-2025. Initial Military Training Center Commander Colonel Enriquito de Ocades, who served as guest of honor and speaker, said that the recruits are beginning a journey of transformation from a civilian to a regimented life of a soldier, from individuals to comrades in arms, from dreamers to defenders of the land. Meanwhile, this is the first batch of this year's quota of 2,257 candidate soldiers. This is Leonor Tanap reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Leonor.
DWDD National News.
And fuel prices went down as the global market reacted to the possibility of an oversupply of oil. The per liter price of gasoline was rolled back by 55 centavos, while diesel prices decreased by 65 centavos and kerosene by 90 centavos. All local oil industry sources said signs of a possible oil oversupply pushed down local fuel prices.
DWDD National News.
And President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. is scheduled to attend the Association of Southeast Asian Nations Summit in Malaysia this month. Presidential Communications Office Undersecretary and Palace Press Officer Claire Castro said the summit will be from May 26 to 27 in Kuala Lumpur. Malaysia is this year's chairman and host of the regional bloc. The Philippines will take over the chairmanship in 2026.
DWDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
And now let us hear from LA about PJSCC expresses commitment for secure and peaceful 2025 national and local elections in Leyte. Ali?
The Provincial Joint Security Control Center has expressed its commitment to ensure a secure and peaceful conduct of the national and local elections in May 12, 2025 in Leyte. During the abbreviated Joint Security Control Center conference held at Camp Dons in Ormoc City, Colonel Arlino Sindaychego, the Chief of Staff of the 8th Infantry Division and Task Force Hope Eastern Visayas Commander, reaffirmed their commitment to the success of the upcoming elections. Alongside Colonel Sindaychego were Police Colonel Junicio Apas Jr., the Director of the Leyte Police Provincial Office, and Attorney Maria Gorete Caseñas Cañas, the Acting Provincial Election Supervisor, who expressed confidence in the PJSCC's ability to uphold the integrity of the election process through the coordinated efforts of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, Philippine National Police, Philippine Coast Guard, and other agencies. Meanwhile, Colonel Sindaychego also reassured voters, especially those in geographically isolated and disadvantaged area, of their safety in Election Day. This is Alali reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Ali.
DWDD National News.
And President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. extended his deepest sympathies to the families who lost loved ones and those who were injured in the recent tragedies at the SC Textile Plaza and NAIA Terminal 1. He also ordered that those responsible should be brought before the bar of justice. PBBM said these incidents should never have happened. They will ensure they never happen again. The chief executive said he ordered Transportation Secretary Vince Dizon to identify and hold accountable those responsible and to put in place the necessary reforms to prevent further loss of life.
DWDD
And Senator Francis Tolentino highlighted the need for a more dynamic and proactive legislative framework against espionage. This comes amid growing disinformation operations designed to influence public discourse. Tolentino expressed that the Senate Special Committee on Philippine Maritime and Admiralty Zones had done more than enough to tie the dots from the capture of alleged Chinese spies, the discovery of submersible drones, up to the ongoing disinformation campaign. He mentioned that Commonwealth Act 616 is not enough and the current cybersecurity laws will not suffice. The senator added that they are confident in crafting a more robust legislative measure that will confront all of this.
DWDD National News.
And for our final news, the three Filipino cardinals, Luis Antonio Tagle, Jose Advencola of the Archbishop of Manila, and Pablo Virgilio David of Caloocan, celebrated a special mass for the Filipino community in Rome. This marks the Colegio Day 2025 at the Pontificio Colegio Filipino. The cardinals drew a large crowd to the chapels of the Colegio, home to Filipino clergy studying at Rome's pontifical universities. Their joint presence underscored the significance of the occasion just days before the start of the conclave on May 7.
DWDD National News.
And that's all for today's broadcast. Thank you for joining us, especially to our audience and our Facebook page, AFP Radio DWDD. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow for more updates, same time, same station. And before we end our program, the AFP CGSC Foundation Incorporated will resume its hybrid annual membership meeting and election of trustees on Wednesday, 7 May, 2 p.m. at AFP Education Training and Doctrine Command Camp General Emilio Aguinaldo, Quezon City. Members are encouraged to attend in person or join online via Zoom. This is an opportunity to review the Foundation's accomplishments, discuss future plans, and elect a new board of members. To those who cannot attend, may submit a proxy forms, which is available at the AFP ETDC headquarters, PMA Alumni Center, AGFU Center, or through Secretariat at the AFP CGSC Foundation Incorporated. With contact details as follows: Ms. Maybell, 0917-808-1456, and Rodalyn 0927-755-8595, or email the foundation at afpcgscfoundationincorporated@gmail.com. Again, this is Jai Simbaon for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rob Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Kayo ay nakatutok sa DWDD AFP Radio. Kami po ay kasapi ng KBP, Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas.